There will be several cultural activities, including local artists' performances at a sports stadium in Vredendal in the Western Cape today. This, South Africa marks the National Day of Reconciliation, and President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver the keynote address under the theme Healing Historical Wounds and Forging New Futures. Bulelani Phillip is standing by for us. Bulelani, top of the morning to you. So the official event to mark Reconciliation Day is in Vredendal today. Take us through what is expected on the official program before the President's keynote address.
Good morning to you, Alicia, and to the viewers at home. Of course, we are coming to you live from the Vredendal North Sports Grounds, where this National Day of Reconciliation commemoration will be taking place. Of course, the President will be delivering the keynote address. And as I speak to you now, I see a couple of people streaming into this venue, of course, in anticipation of taking part in this National Day of Reconciliation commemoration. Of course, as you've said, Alicia, the theme for this year's commemoration is healing historical wounds and forging new futures. I'm going to bring into this conversation now the Minister of Infrastructure in the Western Cape, Tertius Simmers. You're the leader of government business in the Western Cape, and of course here you will be representing the Premier of the Western Cape, Alan Winde. Firstly, the significance of holding this National Day of Reconciliation commemoration here in the Matsikama municipality.
I think indeed it has a lot of emotional connection, given that in terms of the history of our own country, the area where we are in, this basin area of the West Coast, is the birthplace of the Khoi and the Sun. So I think this is quite an historical moment. But also it re-emphasizes the importance of our cultural journey towards true reconciliation by ensuring that our original inhabitants ultimately also now realize that they will be recognized in due course.
Reconciliation is quite a sore point in the country given our apartheid past. The Western Cape, high perceptions that it's a racist province. As the government, what are you doing to actually dispel that perception?
Well, there's what is the myth and what is the reality. And again, the Western Cape is a province for all people. We see an inward migration into our province of 150,000 people annually from across the other 8 provinces, which does mean that we are a province that is open for all the people who choose a better quality of life. And we are part of South Africa by all measurements in terms of service delivery, but also in part of the process of reconciliation. Our province plays a very active and pro-active role. So again, our province is here for everybody. We welcome everybody to our shores. And again, but we do not to emphasize to your viewers that reconciliation is not a one-day theme. It's a continuous process, and we have been busy reconciling as a nation for 30 years. And I believe so. We will do so for a number of years still to come, given the vast number of cultures and the pot of cultures which are blessed with in abundance in this province, but also in this country.
As the province, what programs do you have in place to ensure that you foster reconciliation and nation building?
Well, through the Western Cape Heritage Council, which is the formal structure which deals with accredited traditional structures across our province, we do forge a commonality where we work together as we formally recognize the cultural aspects of the various communities who identify as Khoi, San and Griqua across our province. That's one of our key programs. But also through our various departmental programs, we seek to ensure that all communities do benefit from our service delivery program and agenda as the Western Cape government.
All right, thank you so much. Tertius Simmers, the Minister of Infrastructure in the Western Cape. We are now going to be crossing to my colleague, Vanessa Poonah, who is standing by on the other side.
Bulelani, thank you so much. And of course, we are celebrating Reconciliation Day here at Vredendal in the Western Cape. Just behind me is an exhibition marquee. And of course, if you can see the signage behind me, I'm standing in front of the Robben Island Museum banner at the moment. And of course, we do know, Bulelani's mentioned it there as well, and every South African will know that Robben Island was sort of, shall we say, an iconic place, a space which really Day marked the apartheid system, many political prisoners having been banished there. And of course, we know that our very first democratic president, Nelson Mandela, spent 18 years on Robben Island as well. And joining me now is a former political prisoner of Robben Island, Castro Leholo. He was arrested in 1986, sentenced to 12 years imprisonment for terrorism. Am I correct, Castro, when I say that? You can join me over here. You didn't spend all 12 years in prison after all, but of course, just that moment of spending time in Robben Island, on Robben Island, and 30 years on, here we are standing celebrating yet another Reconciliation Day.
Yes, I didn't spend all the years because of the release that was demanded by the people of the world and the people of South Africa. They released us from that Robben Island. It was not the will of the apartheid government at the time. We were released by our own people. Yes, it's a day that is worth to be celebrated, Reconciliation Day, and Robben Island have to be seen as this space that has to really, change the paradigm in the headspace of our people, in the way they are thinking and how they view our democracy. We have to forge that knowledge and understanding. Why was it necessary for this to happen? But there's quite a number of things that we need to seriously reconsider. Particularly, we can't be just celebrating reconciliation for the sake of celebrating. And it can't be just be a catchword. It has to be something that have to go with serious responsibility, that are linked to our freedom, that are linked to our democracy. Issues of social justice need to be considered very seriously, reviewed time and again, look at the gains and look at our failures. Also the question of economic freedom, the question of land, and some other cultural aspects, equality amongst our nations, etc. Because South Africa is a very diverse community, and we need to ensure that unity is enforced. So Robben Island have to play that fundamental role in bringing these nationalities together and form this strong, united nation of South Africa.
And of course, that's what we're working towards as a country, to achieve that complete unity, to achieve that social cohesion that we've been working on for the past, not even 30 years, even prior to that. When we talk about the struggle against apartheid, when we talk about the fight against colonialism, for example, we have made progress, but you're saying not enough. And the responsibility lies with each and every citizen, each and every member of government, each and every member of business. You're saying it's an all-of-society approach that is necessary.
Yes, of course. All of us have to take that responsibility. But the government have to be the catalyst in that particular aspect. Equally, Robben Island, because people have paid a very dear price for the spending years and years in that Robben Island. And that institution have to be very instrumental in gearing our people towards that. Not only our people, from young to old, even business, etc., etc., etc.
Thank you so much for speaking to me this morning, Castro Leholo, of course, the former political prisoner of Robben Island, talking to us there, Alicia, about the importance of all the structures, be it government, be it Robben Island Museum itself. And we do know that tourists flock there in their numbers to see what political prisoners, especially people like Nelson Mandela and his comrades, all the comrades really on Robben Island, what they've experienced and how South Africa came through a very bitter, dark past to this democracy that we celebrating this year, 30th year of democracy, and of course culminating also again in this Day of Reconciliation, a commemoration taking place here at Vredendal in the Western Cape.
Thank you so much to SABC News reporter there, Vanessa Poonah in Vredendal for us.